Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got news. We got news on the new Lexus battery electric vehicle. Is it a Tesla fighter? Is it a Audi e-tron fighter? I don't think it's going to be really either. We got a new article today that we're going to jump into, but before we do that, smash that like button, subscribe for more Lexus and Toyota news, and let's jump over to this article from autocar.uk. So they are claiming that the first Lexus EV, which we are going to be seeing some sort of unveil of it, of a concept at this year's motor show in Tokyo, which will be late October. We're going to see an EV that'll be urban focused, and it's probably going to be a hatchback or some sort of crossover. The luxury brand's first electric car will be unveiled in some form in October. I just said that with the inspiration coming from 2015. And this vehicle is called the LFSA. We'll jump into more of that in a second. So they were interviewing one of the big guys at Lexus. Vice President Koji Sato said that we feel that our future could resemble this design. Now, I'm going to get into maybe that it could be representing the LFSA or just taking some things from it. We're going to dive into that a little bit more. There's a little bit more news in here as well, but him dropping a bomb that they are going to be driving it from the LFSA is pretty exciting, to be honest. So there are a couple things in the LFSA that are kind of revolutionary. Next level infotainment, which is sorely needed in Lexus, to be honest. They're just getting like leapfrogged by light years by their competitors right now, but at least they are getting Android Auto in there and Apple CarPlay finally. I can't even talk today. Next level information technology displayed on a pair of screens positioned on either side of the steering wheel will characterize interior. That is interesting, and that really isn't taken from the LFSA, and I'll go into that in a little bit, how this is strange. Although the technical details and production date for the first Lexus EV remain under wraps, Sato acknowledged the need to create a product that's competitive and compelling. So they do want to compete in the EV market, right? They don't want to just throw a vehicle out there and not be competitive. This is a business after all. Compelling is something, of course, we need to be compelled to a product for us to buy it. But you can look into it a little bit more. Maybe they're trying to adopt it mass market, and that is potentially the case with a smaller vehicle. The firm is pouring a significant amount of money into the development of the powertrain technology it needs in order to honor its pledge of offering an electrified variant of every car it sells by 2025. Check out my video where I talk about the future of Toyota and Lexus vehicles, somewhere up here. Now, we also know, looking down here, that the two brands, Toyota and Lexus, are going to have 10 electric vehicles. I'm not talking about hybrids. They will be fully electric vehicles by 2025. So they really need to get the ball going because they have 0 right now. Now, we also might see this, we've been teased about this, is that they may also, in this concept unveiling in October, show it with in-wheel electric motors. I don't think the original, or I should say the very first Lexus EV vehicle will have in-wheel electric motors. We'll probably see that maybe in 2025 or a little bit later, but that is where they want to be. They just don't want to be like every other company. They want to have independent wheels powered by independent motors, which is pretty exciting. No one else is doing that right now. And again, we have confirmation that the spindle grille isn't going away anytime soon. It's probably just going to take a big evolution. So, with the Hyundai Kona, for example, the battery electric version of that car has a different front end. I could see them doing something similar. But we're going to step away from this article because I think it raises a lot of questions, more so than answers. And we're going to jump into the LFSA, which was unveiled at the 2015 Geneva Motor Show. And we're going to jump into pictures of it, and I'm going to dissect the vehicle and why we probably aren't going to see something this small, at least in my opinion, come from Lexus, at least not worldwide as a global launch. You might see something like the LFSA in the really the Asian markets, especially Tokyo, so Japan, where things are really, really small there. But we're going to open up a whole host of pictures, and we're going to scroll through them all and talk about some things from the design aspect of it. Okay, here's a top-down picture of it. Now, they call this a 2+2 design, where it's almost like a coupe. With modern Lexus coupes, you have two front seats and the rear there's back seats, but you really don't ever want to put people back there, especially if they're tall. They're just not going to fit. So this gives you a real idea of what this concept was from above. Now, it's a beautiful car, don't get me wrong, but we're going to talk more about the interior than the exterior. And we do see some things in here that look familiar. So this pattern, if you see this pattern in these colors, these can be found in the brand new UX, especially the interior that's called, lapis. It's called lapis. It's called birch, which is like a grayish color, and then lapis is an additional option of it that you can have this blue color, and you see a lot of these tones in this concept. You get a heads-up display in here. Of course you still have the touchpad. There's very little buttons in this concept. I just love how compact it is. Could we see something like this in the future? Possibly, but I don't think it's going to be their first shot out of the cannon as their first battery electric vehicle. I just don't see it happening. Although this vehicle might be popular, like I said, in Asia, maybe in Europe, it wouldn't do very well here in the United States. People like their RXs and their NXs and their ESs a little bit bigger, right? And so you see that in here we actually have ambient lighting, which you can change the colors and things, which of course Mercedes-Benz and BMW see that. You have a rear view camera, and now there's also no mirrors on this car. That has cameras on the side of it. Huge heads-up display on this vehicle. And of course, you just see the cockpit. And if you read about this vehicle, you'll hear them talk about how everything is driver focused. Well, there is a resounding resemblance when you hear the creator of the UX, the first female Lexus creator of a vehicle. I can't think of her name. Chika Kako just came to me. Chika Kako is her name, and she talks a lot about the UX, how it's very driver focused. If you look in the UX, there are no radio controls up front. It's all by the armrest, by the hand. Everything is tilted towards the driver as well. So it's a very driver-focused driving experience in the UX. Couple videos in here. This is what this vehicle looks like from the front. Very cute, very aggressive. It's super cool. It'll be a really great city car for 1 to 2 people, but that's not what sells in America. And then here again, we have this birch with lapis like color combination, and then you have this design which we see on the seats of the UX, or something very similar to this pattern, and you see it on the armrest here. How does this LFSA translate into the first electric vehicle for Lexus? Well, I don't think it's going to be that small, and in fact I think it's going to be a UX. The quote that Koji Sato used is, "We feel that our future could resemble this design." Well, the UX is already embodying a lot of these design cues from this smaller LFSA concept. It doesn't help to mask the disguise when Lexus filed a trademark. I have a video on it in Europe, and it's called the UX300E, E standing for electric, presumably. And that would make the most sense. It would be very cost effective while they're still developing that platform. I think it was with Subaru. They're still developing that electric platform that is highly customizable. So they need to get something out to the market, and the UX is pretty configurable to a potentially electric version. Of course, we already know we have the hybrid that is very well received and is doing really well worldwide. We can't keep them in stock here, at least at my dealership. And so I honestly think that the first electric vehicle from Lexus is going to be some sort of, it could be a UX or some sort of modified UX, possibly based on the same platform. So why would you be asking me this? Well, Lexus is unveiling, well, I should say Toyota is unveiling the very first EV for the Chinese market. So this is the CHR, which we get in America, but they're creating it as an electric vehicle in China, and it'll be out in 2020. We just don't know much about it. It's estimated to probably have somewhere around 200 miles of range. And guess what? The UX is based off the same platform as the CHR. They're about the same size. I think the UX might be a tad bigger, but if they can make an electric version of the CHR, they can make an electric version of the UX. I think that's what they're going to do. Now, when would we see something like this? When are we going to see? Well, if we see the first electric vehicle from Toyota in China in 2020, it'll probably be in 2021 that we're going to get our first electric vehicle here in the States from Lexus. And I honestly do think it is going to be based off this shared platform with the CHR. And I think it's going to be either the UX300E or kind of like a dressed up car that is based off the UX. I could be really wrong. I really have this is just me speculating. I have really no idea, but based off the information I have, this is the conclusion I'm coming to. This is my hypothesis, I should say, about what they're going to do and unveil. Yes, we're going to see some big styling changes. It's not just going to be like a UX F Sport front end. It's going to be quite a bit different. We're hearing that the design language is far removed from anything else Lexus is doing right now. We will see hints of the spindle grille still in it, but it's going to be very different compared to what we currently see. Now, before I let you guys go, Toyota has some concept images of Toyota vehicles that are going to be electrified, and these are just concepts that came out a few months ago, and back in June, I believe. And I think it's going to be based off or be very similar to this vehicle here. The size of this vehicle is very UX-like. This is more NX, this is more RX. And this I did almost like an NX as well. But I think it's going to be like this vehicle right here. I think I have one more picture of it. And if it's not going to be anything like this, it's I cannot see them putting their stamp on something this small as their first electric Lexus. It's just not going to do very well, and people are going to be very disappointed because Lexus owners, here in America anyways, really like their RXs and their NXs and their ESs too, but especially those two crossovers. And the UX is close-ish of enough. If they're able to maybe use the UX platform, maybe make it a little bit bigger, the NX platform, there's no way they're going to be able to modify that cost effectively to accept the electric platform, or I should say electric powertrain. And that platform's dead. The NX is on dead platform. It will be upgrading to the new TNGA platform shared with the RAV4, the 2019 RAV4. It just hasn't happened yet. We probably won't see that for a couple more years. And then they should be able to, throw in electric versions in that new platform when it comes out. So here's the last picture of it. I think it's this vehicle here in the back that'll be most similar to. Is our first electric vehicle from Lexus. And I know these are just Toyota concepts, but I think it will be similar-ish to that. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm really far off? Do you think that it's going to be something totally different? Do you think it's something going to be micro-sized, like that tiny concept, the LFSA? I think we're going to see some radical design elements of it, such as maybe the big heads-up display, next generation, possibly dual screens, right? Possibly dual screens in that car, and possibly around 200 miles of electric range. I think it will be still lithium-ion based. And we'll probably still see lithium-ion based electric vehicles from Lexus for probably the first 5 or so years. And then, of course, they will still support them. They'll be having some, but I think they will charge a high early adopters fee once they have the solid-state batteries, unless there's a big competition out there, and that will drive prices down. I hope that happens, to be honest. That's it, guys. That's all I have. That's what I think the first Lexus battery electric vehicle will be. I think it will be a dressed up UX with next generation technology, coming in probably 2021. I will be discussing this at length once we do get the concept unveiled in the Tokyo Motor Show this year, late October. But I'll see you guys in the comments, and don't forget to watch my stream. I'll probably stream here on Sunday, and it's a lot of fun, and I probably can talk to you guys at length, at nauseum at that. If you guys see this in the background, thanks for my Patreon supporters. This is my monthly giveaway, which those Patreon supporters already have their name in the hat to receive this. If you guys want to support the channel through Patreon, go ahead. There will be a link in the description below. And thanks guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video, and until next time, peace.